Chiefs is in panic mode right now. They're panicking. They're showing this by the announcement they made last night, where they announced finally who the new head coach of Kaizer Chiefs is going to be. Was it going to be Arthur? Arthur keeping his job? Maybe them sticking with him and saying, you know what? We chose this project and now we're going to stick with him and see this project through. Many have likened this to maybe Pitso and how Motsepe had to stand by him during the tough times at Sundowns. Or were we going to get the coach that we've been speaking about for weeks, Nasreddin Nabi, the Tunisian who just won a double treble over there in Tanzania with Yanga? Or maybe we're going to go back to our roots as Kaizer Chiefs, go into the middle of Europe and go get some random Romanian, some random Serbian or something like that to come in, as we've done before. Nope. Chiefs announced Molefintseki. An announcement so shocking that even Bobo Nang came out and had something to say about it. I genuinely think that what happened to Kaizer Chiefs is what happens to a lot of PSL clubs when they're in the state where they're trying to get right. Remember, it's been 8 seasons without a trophy. 8 full seasons without a trophy. For a team that up to maybe 8 years ago had been winning a trophy every single season. We are the trophy kings of South Africa, but for 8 years, no trophy has entered into that cabinet. So rightfully, you'd imagine that this team is now going to have, a bit of, they'd want to get this done with, man. They'd want to change this as quickly as possible. They cannot carry on down this path. And them reaching out to Nabi was a very good indicator of maybe things were going to change at Kaizer Chiefs. Nabi is a coach that is well respected in Africa, having already won a Champions League, having the success he had right now with Young Africans, having done all of those things. It looked like it was a move towards the future. Hey guys, not only are we looking at the MTN 8 or the Nedbank Cup, not only, we are now going to put our focus onto Africa. Seems like everything's a good move, but when it's staring you in the face, it's scary. When you reach out to a coach and the coach says to you, I want my own technical team because I don't trust the people you guys have there. I don't know the people you guys have there, and I cannot sacrifice my own winning because of your people. Because I have to teach your people how I have to play even before I get to the players. I have to get them to my level, which is going to waste time. First hurdle. Now they're looking at this guy who's ready, who may want to come, but is going to be asking a lot of you. And part of that a lot is letting go of control. And I think that's where a big red flag for Mduduzi came in. That no longer will you be able to sign players on your own. You're going to have to listen to me and my analysts and my assistant coaches and all of my team that I'm going to bring over. Now, we should have known that something was going wrong when weeks and weeks and weeks of conversation had yielded nothing. As Coach Pitso said last week in his interview with Andile Ngube, if you want the coach, you will get the coach. But if you're going to haggle and try and still hold control while making this man a scapegoat, they're not going to say yes. Uatazwani came in last season. A lot of fans wanted him. But the question was always going to be, he's a brand new coach. First time in a proper head coaching job. DDC and coaching Chiefs is 2 different things. Assistant coach and coaching Chiefs is 2 different things. There are plenty of skills that you have to master and know. You have to know how to deal with the media, how to deal with the Motaungs, how to deal with the fans, how to deal with your players. There's plenty of things that you need to have full control over before you can take over that job at Kaizer Chiefs. Ask Steve Kompela. Ask Gavin. So here we sat, with Chiefs seemingly on the cusp of doing something big. And who do they announce? Molefi. For those who don't know, Molefi's claim to fame is being Bafana coach for a couple of years, I believe it was. Not a very successful time, and it was shipped pretty quickly. Yes, he was meant to be a caretaker coach, but there's nothing to write home about that he did. We didn't qualify for AFCON, which, I mean, you cannot hold over his head because not many coaches have done that. But it was his job. And before that, he was an assistant at Bafana, but then before that, he was a developmental coach. So, Chiefs came into last season with a developing coach, Undo Atazwani, who's also very good at finding talent. Abonkosi Mpilengobo have been accredited to him. And who was backing him up there? Another development coach. No PSL experience. But I guess maybe you could talk to a synergy that they had at Bafana as Atta was his assistant. And now we've reverted back to that. So a coach with no PSL experience. A coach whose last job was a tanking of Bafana. Or continued tanking of Bafana, to be fair. That's who's going to be our head coach. And I think what's happening is that Chiefs fans are angry. And the reason why we're angry is not necessarily because of Unseki. It's because that team is not changing. Dylan Shepherd is still going to be an assistant. Atazwan is still going to be in the technical team as an assistant. And then Unseki, who was part of the greater technical team, is now taking over. What changes can we expect? What difference is he going to make? If already this team has shown us what they were doing, has shown us the results, that ended with the record for the most losses, the record for the most goals conceded at Kaizer Chiefs. Those are the guys who are going to again take over. It's a reshuffle. It's a reshuffle. And part of me actually feels for Unseki, because the situation they've put him in is untenable. Not only are you following Atazwani, who fans were still half and half about, who some were saying needs time. Not only are you following him, now you're following rumors of a top coach who they couldn't get the work done with. And you're stepping into the firing line. I feel sorry for him. In fact, maybe Kaizer Chiefs would have been better off, much better off, just allowing Uatha to continue. He's a face people know, and there's enough conversation around him within Chiefs quarters where we're fighting each other over, does he need more time? So at least he's got some goodwill. But Unseki stepping in will have no goodwill. And this is a situation that Chiefs will have to understand. It's either he does really well, especially in those early games, or they agree and understand that they need to back him through thick and thin. And there's going to be a lot of thick. This is the situation that Unseki is walking into. But I'd like to now speak about the Motaungs. It's 8 seasons that we haven't won. You know, previously, you could do things in the back. As we've heard the stories about Upo, we could do things in the back and still get some winning. But that's running out. We need to see your plan. This up and down. This season we're playing helicopter football. The next season you want to put the ball on the ground. The next season you've hired the next one. The next season you've hired the next one. We're starting to realize that it's not the coaches that are the problem here. It's the family. And if rumors are to be believed, we're not the only ones that noticed this. Nike left, allegedly, because there's no longer the shine around Kaizer Chiefs. And they could maybe take a couple of years of losing, but right now, financially, it made no sense to stay with Kaizer Chiefs. And thank the good Lord for Jessica Motaung. Thank the good Lord that at least somebody is doing their job and was able to salvage that situation. And according to rumors, get us a lot more money. Thank the good Lord. But we're starting to see the cracks. And we're starting to see that these coaches are scapegoats. These coaches are becoming scapegoats for you guys not being able to do your jobs. Chiefs are starting to look a lot like the lesser PSL clubs, no disrespect. AmaZulu with Babzungu is restructuring right now. They've had to look at their coaching structures and change the whole thing. Oh, who else is restructuring? Chiefs is. Uchipampengesi has hired and fired 32 coaches in 10 years. We're looking at 5-5 right now. The types of players that are being signed by Kaizer Chiefs is looking a lot like the types of players that are signed by lesser PSL teams. Deep down, I know that maybe it's time for us to stop looking at Chiefs as such a big team and realize that it's history now. We are history majors. We're talking about league titles from 2015, 16. We're talking about trophy hauls from 2003. While people are winning stars, while people are becoming bigger in Africa, we're looking very average. And sooner or later, we're going to look at you guys as the leaders, as the steerers of this ship, and ask very deep questions about your planning, about your execution, and about what you want for us as fans and for the team at large. Can't be that we're stuck here. Every season it's another coach. Every season it's another story. Every season is something else. And the sad part is that right now, Chiefs has done so badly over the past 8 to 10 years that fans have started to move from a place where we didn't care. A lot of us were just watching football. We didn't care what moves were being made because you couldn't get emotionally invested, to now being outright angry. Missiles were thrown at one of these matches. If you're not careful, things might happen at stadiums. Not condoning it. But understand where we are heading. So, can I say too much about Motsepe? Not really. I don't know what to expect from him. But it does seem like if he indeed had the power that we think he had, iPads in stadiums with Upobi, then we can trust and believe that, at the very least, these are your players that you wanted, that you are signing. That was another red flag, signing players before even having a coach. We have 5 incoming before knowing what the coach is going to want. So, let's hope that these are the players that he wanted. So you're going to get your players that you signed along with them Motaungs, and you better do well. and I'm hoping, let's hope that he does well. But understand that you, sir, Mulifintseki, Atazwane, Dylan Shepherd, Gerald Sbego, the Mtaungs, you're going to have to earn our respect, our support, our love back. And while we may not love this move, it's up to you guys to change our minds.